So, how are we going to get the gold? Stay tuned and find out. The following is me documenting an experiment that I'm doing in my garage. It is not a recommendation, it does not cover any kind of safe handling or procedures, and it is not like this process can produce deadly gases like chlorine and sulfur dioxide. Don't try it. Alright, so first I'm going to take my little piece of gold-plated porcelain here and wash off any residue, any glue or oil that gets on it. So it's nice and clean when I go to try and get that gold off of there. So we can kind of think of this like an ore. So the porcelain or ceramic on the inside is not soluble, it won't etch, but the metal on the outside, which is gold, see it says 22 karat gold on the bottom, will etch. And so we're just going to bust it up and crush it up inside of this crucible to make it, we don't want to use any more chemical than we have to. It's a little messy, but that'll do it. So I'm going to add this to a jar with just a little bit of water in it. So here's our gold-plated stuff, and that's a little bit of water in there. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to add some muriatic acid. And you always want to have water first before you add acid. Over our water a little bit. Just to give you an idea how thin this gold is, you can kind of see the gold floating around on top of the water because it's super thin. So this is a fun experiment and all, but it's probably not going to be worth much. Okay, so here's my little setup. This is done. I'm doing this outside in the garage. So what I'm going to do is add bleach to the hydrochloric acid, and that's going to generate chlorine gas. And the chlorine gas will attack the gold and start creating gold chloride in the solution. So this will turn yellow. Any gas, or most of the gas, hopefully, goes into this, which is lye, sodium hydroxide. And the chlorine gas reacts with sodium hydroxide and creates sodium chloride, or table salt. And then later in the process, we're going to generate some sulfur dioxide, and the sulfur dioxide dissolves in water. So these are measures to try and mitigate the harmful emissions from this reaction. Alright, so now I'm going to add bleach to the solution. We're going to do that using this syringe. Should allow us to add the bleach without releasing any gases. I'll get you guys a clip. Alright, so we're going to start adding bleach. You can already see the solution starting to turn yellow, so I'm going to time lapse this real quick. Well, that's it. All the gold is leached off of the porcelain into the solution, but that solution is still pretty pale. So there's a lot more gold that it could absorb, so I'm going to feed it more stuff before I go and precipitate the gold out. So we're not going to take the gold out today. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. So I'm going to leave it up to the crowd here. Do we crush up this little gold crusted saucer and teacup that's a Homer Laughlin and feed it to the solution, or should I find some other more junky stuff to feed to the solution and save this one because it's kind of shiny? It's always a hard thing when you're crushing up old American opulence.